Hello, I'm Danielle Conley, and welcome to Wealth Think Tank Television with your host, Dr. Ralph Steele, providing the best financial literacy, investment, and generational wealth for your children, yourself, your family, and your business.
Welcome to Wealth Think Tank Television. I'm your host, Dr. Ralph Steele, and we're live right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area, and with a great show today. Again, I'm Dr. Ralph Steele, and we talk about a lot of different things, generational wealth. We talk about the specialized complex, spendthrift trust, investments, entrepreneurship. But today we have a great show for you today. But before then, now just listen to this great video about investments and just helping your family.
Are you frustrated with paying yearly income taxes on savings that are intended for long-term goals? Then it's time for you to get the information on the strategies that can provide tax advantages on your money. In our early working years, we made money to pay our monthly bills. Shortly thereafter, we began saving for our first home. But during our middle years, we began to realize the seriousness of putting aside money for longer-term objectives. That's why many people embrace financial strategies that not only have the potential of building value for your future financial goals, but may also provide beneficial tax advantages during their growth phase and during the distribution phase. It's important to save money because some long-term goals don't offer second chances. But it's also important to embrace strategies that are tax-advantaged, ones that have the ability to potentially reduce, defer, or even eliminate taxes. With so much to gain, ask for the facts. The facts may illustrate ways for you to achieve tax advantages on money that you're setting aside for longer-term objectives. That's a strategy that has the potential of delivering a big advantage to the quality of your financial life.
Welcome back to Wealth Think Tank Television. You see, and that's what we try to help people with. The good Lord wants us to help people. For me, it's a ministry to help people to have the type of financial strategies that they need to live and to create generational wealth. With that being said, also, we try to partner with and share with persons, business owners, producers, people who are doing great things in life. And today, folks, I'm partnering with one of the greatest gentlemen I've met in my life. His name is Mark Rios. Rios, if I'm saying it right, he can correct me. And Mark is a producer, and I'm telling you, I have an amazing thing and a show and a premiere that's coming up February the 4th, and it's about Elvis Presley and how Elvis sung gospel, how he loved gospel, but also how Elvis loved the Lord, and we all who love the Lord. And so today I want to welcome you, folks, television audience all over the United States, and particularly right here in Dallas-Fort Worth, Mr. Mark Rios, and he will tell you more. Welcome to the show, Mark.
Thank you so much, Dr. Steele.
Man, I'm so glad to have you on the show. It's amazing how people connect, how we connected, and I'm so grateful and thankful and excited to have you on the show. But I want to just go into it. You have a show, film, and different things. If I say it wrong, you can correct me, about Elvis Presley, who is somebody that's dear to me. I grew up listening to Elvis songs, television shows, and just him singing gospel, singing blues, just all kind of things. But your emphasis is on the gospel that Elvis, is that correct?
Exactly.
So tell me what inspires you in terms of to kind of have this opportunity and then set this in dollars, and you can go into some of the other things that.
Sure. I've actually been an actor for 19 years professionally. Started out as a stage actor. And then since transitioned into on-screen work as well. But I've been producing for the past several years. And I've always been an Elvis fan, as long as I can remember, probably since I was in diapers. And so, and I've actually been to Graceland several times and Memphis.
Yeah, I've been to Graceland too, you're talking in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, Memphis, Tennessee. Graceland,
beautiful place, isn't it?
Beautiful, fantastic place. But I've always been an Elvis fan, as I said.
Yes.
And I've always wanted to do almost like a bucket list type of thing.
Right.
But I've always wanted to show kind of the spiritual side of who Elvis actually was. People can get a broader and a bigger view of who this man, Elvis Presley, really is, huh? Sure, exactly. It basically, I thought about producing, and I'm actually, we're going to premiere it soon here in Dallas. It's called The Gospel Soul of Elvis.
Wow.
And it's basically an intimate take or an intimate look behind the scenes of this man, the man behind the man,
right.
Called Elvis Presley. And his love for gospel music, the spirit of who Elvis was, how he grew up. History is involved in the show as well. But I'm excited, and our cast, that's in the show as well. They're just super pumped about it, and we're ready to premiere it.
So where's this going to be held at? The location, time, and everything?
It's the Arts Mission of Oak Cliff. In Dallas, Texas. It's kind of an historical area called it's very close to the Bishop Arts area of
Bishop
Dallas.
Arts area. I know the area. It's a nice, it's a growing area, isn't it?
Growing area, kind of an historical area as well. And that's where we're going to premiere it. And we're already getting feedback even before the premiere of churches and other venues that are interested in seeing it perform there.
So it sounds like something that can be seen not just here in Dallas, but it can be seen really nationwide.
Exactly. And who knows after this the airing of the show, only God knows what's going to happen. But yeah, we're, like I said, we have interest in other places as well.
Yes.
But we would be definitely happy to maybe take it on a mini tour or just a regular tour and show it to the country.
Show it to the country. And now, tell our television audience here what type of work one puts into, because, a lot of time when we do things, people think, oh, you just did it easy. What kind of, Mark, work that you've had to, and perhaps your cast has had to really just put into producing something of this stature and quality?
Yeah. Well, obviously a lot of work goes into it. I wrote the script, and obviously, I don't know how many drafts, of the script.
Wow.
That kept revising again over and over again. But and that's just kind of comes with the territory, and that type of thing. But also it's just doing behind the scenes studies of the characters. And as I said, I'm a huge Elvis fan for years anyway. So
your heart is in it.
Yeah, my heart is in it, most definitely. And
you're just not writing something and producing something just for people to see it, but somewhere in the depth of your heart, Elvis lives.
Well, sure, exactly, and that's why my show is inspired by true events, even though it's fiction, but it's inspired by true events. It's basically, the backdrop of the show is 1970, Las Vegas, and Elvis had just started the year prior his Las Vegas tenure.
Yes.
So he's performing there, and Elvis, he would do this at Graceland too, but obviously in Vegas too. After his last show of the day, because many times you have 2 shows a day. In order for him to wind down, because Elvis was obviously a very high-strung individual,
what would he
full
do?
of adrenaline, what he would do is he would go back to his penthouse called the Elvis Suite. He would invite certain background singers, maybe some entourage or whatever, but they would go back and basically do what he would do when he was a young kid, which was sing gospel music basically all night long.
Wow. Just let the blend and the flow. And not only do I love Elvis, but I love gospel music even myself. I grew up on gospel music, and in your mind, I want you to tell our television audience, is there a sign or a sense of victor in listening to gospel music? Do you think so?
Yeah, I do.
And when I say victor, because a lot of times people, we all have challenges in life.
Sure.
All of us. I've had challenges, I'm sure you have.
Yes.
And Elvis had challenges, people do. But do you see a sense of victor and victory in the way Elvis sung gospel music?
Sure.
That impacts the lives of people?
Sure, I do. You know, and it's all, you know, it's all about, you know, and that's basically what my show is about. It's specifically, it's kind of an inspirational look into who Elvis was. Okay, and then basically that's where the gospel music comes in, because, you know, gospel music is very inspirational,
it really
very
is.
Uplifting, very positive in nature, and that's why Elvis, you know, that's why he gravitated toward that. Because it basically gave him a sense of solace.
And that's what a lot of times, that's one of the reasons why I like what you're doing, but I also always was able to love Elvis and his life, because even some of the music that was even not gospel, if you really listen to his music, just in it, including the gospel, singing the gospel in its entirety, the broaderness, you could feel and sense the positivity. You know what I mean? As you said, the uplifting.
Sure.
And let's just go do it. Let's be excited about it. I mean, and I think that, and you tell me, that's also what you're trying to present and put out here, and to make America what it really is too, right?
Sure, exactly. You know, and that's and basically that's who Elvis was too. You know, he was a very you know, humble guy. You know, which you know, some people may believe that, some may not, but it's true. I mean, it's basically documented.
I think he was a humble guy.
Very humble individual.
By the way, too, excuse me, you know this too. Elvis served in the military.
Sure, he did.
I served in the military, and just that, you know what I mean, Elvis being a veteran, I'm a Navy veteran of 7.5 years, even that speaks to who, in addition to all of the great music he sung, including the gospel music, that speaks to his humility and his love for God, but also love for the country.
Sure, exactly. Yeah, and you're right. He was in the military. He was drafted in the military and served in Germany. And that's actually where he met his future wife, Priscilla.
Right,
Presley.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're thinking about you producing everything. What was some of the hardest challenges has been for you, Mark, in terms of when you had this goal, this dream, this quest is to produce this, and it's kind of like, this is for me, to hear you talk about it, owning and on this, often on this set now, it's kind of like a life's dream. But what has been one of the hardest, or 2 or 3 of the hardest challenges you've faced with actually producing this, and this going to come live February the 4th? Because ain't nothing easy, is it?
Sure, exactly. Well, I think the hardest part for me in this whole process was basically the casting process. Now, I've played Elvis on stage, music reviews over the years in different productions. So I'm playing Elvis in my own show.
Right.
Okay, but one of the hardest things for me in the process was the casting process.
Right.
Is finding the right actors, because in my show, there's actors portraying real people that Elvis actually worked with, background singers, and what have you. So yeah, I think that was the hardest part. You know, to find the right Priscilla Presley, to find the right, you know, Sylvia Shamwell or whatever. So yeah. But I'm excited. I'm pumped, and I'm ready to go.
That would be a hard part, because everybody can't be or play everybody.
Exactly.
There's different roles, and any producer and any actor would understand that, or even the audience that watches. You know, when we watch TV shows and you see somebody playing a very detailed, very specific, very interesting role, you can see like, wait a minute, this person played that role. You know what I mean? very well.
Exactly.
But this is not the original person.
Exactly.
They playing that role, and so you're correct to just find somebody who can just play the role, and even yourself, like you say, you played Elvis' role. What has really struck you, and even in your life now, as playing the role in the cast of Elvis?
It's just you definitely gotta fill some big shoes,
Big shoes.
Yeah. And it's just, I like to, I like to watch a lot of the documentaries about Elvis.
Yes.
I like to listen to his interviews, and then obviously his shows and stuff too. His actual concert shows.
Right, exactly.
To kind of see what he would do, what he wouldn't do. How he would interact with the audience, how he would interact with his entourage, with his background singers,
right.
with his friends, with family, and yeah. So that's, but it's fun. It was fun to do it.
It's kind of like taking Elvis, if I'm correct, and you can correct me. We're doing all of that in addition to playing Elvis, but in addition to producing now. It's almost like you're saying, if I'm hearing you, just allowing Elvis to just blend into your bloodstream, into your mind, your emotions, and into your heart. So the Elvis that we know can come out of you when you're performing, and even in your production.
Sure, exactly. And that's as an actor, I've been an actor professionally for 19 years, but you would basically call that, some actors are more into certain techniques of acting, and I'm somewhat of a method actor, and that's kind of what method actors do.
Right.
Is you immerse yourself in the character and the role, and literally become that particular
person.
Yeah.
And if nobody didn't know who Elvis was, they look at you, they might think you were the real Elvis.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Kind of that type of perspective.
Exactly.
So Mark, who really, and I know you inspired by Elvis, but if there's somebody else that's living and breathing that has also helped inspire you to be the Elvis and to perform, to act, and to produce this quality piece for Elvis today? Anybody in particular? Or?
Number one. I just want to say that I'm definitely blessed.
Amen.
And and God is good. So
to God be the glory.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just basically what it's all about. But yeah, there's I have family. I have there's many people that have inspired me over the years.
You have a supportive family of it.
Exactly.
That's important.
Exactly. And I do want to just kind of piggyback on what you said too. Is this great movie that just came out with Austin Butler that played Elvis.
Right.
He nailed it. He did a fantastic job. He just got a Golden Globe for it.
Wow, I know. Ain't that something?
He got a Golden a couple of days ago. And
congratulations
congratulations
to him.
Austin Butler.
Right.
Yeah, Baz Luhrmann, Tom Hanks, all those guys. But I do want to say that's kind of what we're doing. We're just kind of riding that Elvis wave, even though I love Elvis. Just kind of ride that Elvis movie wave and let people know, hey, this is who Elvis truly was, and this is what gave him that peace and that consolation.
And I think, and you can speak to this too.
Sure.
I met, here's the thing. I lived in Nashville, Tennessee. I used to walk across from Vanderbilt. I was a student at Vanderbilt University. I got a master's degree from Vanderbilt. Well, Vanderbilt is a very difficult school. First of all, to get in it, but second, to get out of it. I studied all the time. But the point is, while I was a student at Vanderbilt University, which is a Ivy League, very good school, I'm grateful. I'll be forever in debt educationally and critically, as a critical thinker from the education I received at Vanderbilt. But I would leave Vanderbilt literally and walk across to the Country Music USA.
Oh, yeah.
Right in Nashville, Tennessee. And I never forget a couple of things. One is you mentioned about being in the shoes of Elvis, and I remember the song that Clint Black wrote years ago, who I like. Remember the song, walk a mile in my shoes. I mean, that song speaks also to what I think you're doing, walking a mile in Elvis' shoes in a different perspective.
Sure.
And that, but also just while I was in Nashville, Tennessee, what was so wonderful for me as a student, I met so many people, even some of my student friends, colleagues who was there with me, and some of the professors, some of the folks who just lived in Nashville, who just, you couldn't go anywhere, Mark, television audience in Nashville, somebody, everybody who loved Elvis Presley.
Exactly.
I mean, it was just, it was almost like he was still alive. You know what I mean? Wait a minute, Elvis, is that you? You know what I mean? And you would see different people on occasion who would dress up like Elvis, who would even sing like Elvis, or do various things and have different Elvis days, and you know what I mean? So it just, this is so meaningful to me to see what you're doing.
Sure.
And so I'm grateful that you're doing it. But I want to stop right now and just tell our television audience nationwide on Think Tank Television, KAZQ 32 TV, the date, the time, and give the website and your number too. So y'all can, if you want to call Mark, I mean, yes, thousands, a million people calling, but
don't blow my phone up, okay?
But give the television.
So where am I supposed to look? Right here?
Yeah,
Okay.
you look straight there. Hey,
Okay.
yeah, you can wave at the television audience. They'll wave back at you.
How are you? Yeah, it premieres in Dallas, Texas, February 4th. It's actually a one-off show. And if we need to, to add more dates, so be it, we'll do it. And we're considering, maybe even taking on a mini tour or just a regular size tour. So it just kind of depends on certain variables, obviously. What else? The website, let me just go on and point that out to you as well. It is The Gospel Soul of Elvis Show.weebly, WEEBLY.com. So that's www.thegospelsoulofelvisshow.weebly.com.
Weebly, spell Weebly.
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 Yeah, Weebly.
Yeah, that's great. There you have it, folks. It's I almost call him Dr. Mark. Or Dr. Elvis. But there you have it. Mark Rios, producer, Elvis, premiere, February the 4th. Give the location again, Mark.
It's the Arts Mission Oak Cliff in Dallas, Texas.
The Art Mission Oak Cliff. And I'm telling you, folks, it's a wonderful place. It's a nice place. And if you look, it'll be on the screen in the show. You'll be able to see the Eventbrite, the website, and you'll be able to go in and purchase your ticket and just come and just have a great time. Or I might say too, as Mark has said, I'm looking to see, I'm just going to be straight with you. I'm looking to see a nationwide tour all over the United States. So if you have a church or art commission or something of that, and you're interested in bringing Mark tour to your city or your state, he'll give you the number again so you can call and negotiate a contract, set it up, set a date, and you know what? Let's hear the gospel of Jesus Christ sung, portrayed by the greatest Elvis Presley, produced by Mark Rios. Folks, I'm telling you, I've listened to some of it, and I've seen a lot of Elvis in my own time as a child, but also as an adult. And like Mark has, I've seen a lot of reviewed, a lot of his shows. I listened to his music sometime in the midnight hour, woke up listening to it. And so I'm telling you, give Mark a call. And he said, don't blow his phone up. I say, blow it up and blow it up with fire. You know what I mean? And let the history, tradition, and the experience of Elvis Presley come alive in America. That's what I want to see. And you know what? I think we got the right person right here, live on Wealth Think Tank Television, KAZQ, right here. Now I want to go to Mark a time and ask Mark, as before we leave here, I want you to just tell the television audience, those who will see you and going to shake your hand and going to watch you, what are some of the things they can do are you open to receiving sponsorship for the production?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I'm open to anything that's available. You know, anybody that's anybody that's available. If there's businesses, business owners, individuals,
You see there, business owners are fans of Elvis, and this all over the United States. Listen, you can be a sponsor or invest in the Elvis production. And I'm going to stop, and Mark will tell you how you can send, a check, or even if you send it to P.O. Box 211 231, Bedford, Texas 76095, the Wealth Think Tank Television, and you just put care of Elvis Production, Mark Rios, and it'll get to him. But I'm going to have him to give you an address that you can be a sponsor of his production with Elvis.
Well, my official website, I already gave that. I'm going to give it again. It's www.thegospelsoulofElvisshow.weebly.com. There is a contact page there. Just go to the contact page, send an email, and we'll get in contact with you. And then also you can call the station, and then they'll contact me, or like Dr. Steele said, just you can send information to him, and then he'll relay that to me.
And there you have it, folks. We'd like to welcome and thank Mark for being on our show, and just say hello to your Elvis fans out there. Hello to all the Elvis fans out there. We look forward to seeing you at a tour somewhere in your city in the United States of America. Folks, again, I'd like to thank you for watching Wealth Think Tank Television. We're here to help you if you need a trust. If you need to put your money in your 401k, roll it over into an annuity 10 so you won't lose any of it. If you need to buy and get a whole life or index annuity for your children so you can help create generational wealth, please give me a call, 817-729-0543. I'm Dr. Ralph Steele with Wealth Think Tank Television, also business owner of W=ME3 Wealth Financial LLC, and we believe in you to live a quality of life. Thank you.